Today's broadcast of the Spring Racing Carnival is proudly brought to you by the TAB.
Get a run for your money on the TAB.
To Bendigo as the runners make their way to the barrier for the NEC Bendigo Cup, and Rob Gaillard talked to some of the top jockeys in this race, including Peter Hutchinson, Greg Charles and Paul Dyson.
Peter, having a look at Tosoldi's run, of course, last week at Kyne, do you consider it a little bit unlucky?
Yes, definitely. She was just held up for a run at the top of the straight when the winner got a run round the field, and I just made all the difference winning and losing.
A bigger track here at Bendigo is going to give you much more room, and she's a mare that can race up on the pace. The only thing that sits in my mind might be a worry for is the 2200.
Yes, but that's I think it's the further she knows she can get 2200, and it's just going to be a little bit of a worry at the finish, but we're keeping the fingers crossed. Well,
you've got the master of trainer of stayers in George Hanlon.
Oh yes, old George, he's a freak.
Greg, reports from the weekend that this horse Red Zam was scratched from Melbourne on the weekend for this race in mind.
Yes, well, Mr. Orlacey rang me up early in the week and asked me if I'd be available to ride the horse, pending what he was going to do. And, well, he was scratched on the weekend and he's here today.
It seems anything at the moment. I mean, you could throw your leg over a broomstick and win at the moment. You've won the second here at Bendigo today. This particular horse has won at Flemington 3 starts ago, but the 2200, a big ask today.
Yes, it is. But the horse, when he did win at Flemington, he came from a long way back. He came from last at the 600-metre mark to win at Flemington. The track was rain affected that day, but he has backed up and run third in the Moe Cup a couple of weeks ago, so he should cope with the distance.
Paul Dyson, welcome to Bendigo. Flying trip here last start to ride this particular horse, but a flying trip again, so the confidence in the stable must be reasonably high.
Yeah, we thought he had a very good chance last start in the Werribee Cup, but he drew the outside, and Werribee being a tight track, he seemed to get a little bit too far back and had to make up too much ground in the straight. He ran a very good race. So,
Paul, the big ask of a lot of horses in this, whether they can run the 2200. Can yours?
Yeah, he had no trouble running 2200. I think he had his only try at 2200. He won at weight for age and beat the Hippogriff, which had won in Melbourne not long back. So, yeah, he shouldn't have any trouble at all.
Paul Dyson there talking with Rob Gaillard, and Rob, as they move into the gates, your tip for the big one.
I'll stick with Regimental Arms to win, and I think probably the hardest to beat is the horse from West Australia and Stick Around.
And now with his call of the Bendigo Cup today, let's go upstairs to Dan Malecki.
Thanks very much, Alan and Rob. Interesting comments from Paul Dyson there about Stick Around beating the Hippogriff at weight for age. It gives him a very strong chance here today. The favourite on the Victorian tote is number 5, Regimental Arms, at $1.85. Stick Around is at $2.65. So they're the two clear-cut favourites, out to about 9 to 1 for the rest of the field as far as odds are concerned on the Victorian tote. Now they're still about 4 or 5 away from the line. Tosoldi's drawn towards the inside. Gallicus is set with Regimental Arms, Davalora Lad. Pabulum about to come forward. Beat Frontier Boy at Cheltenham last start. Frontier Boy come out and won the Queen Elizabeth last Saturday at Flemington, so the form line there is good. Mercator is ready with Stick Around, Red Zam. Home Show further out. Favoured Boy Bonded goes into the stalls. So only a couple of more horses to move up. Moods is away with Explorer and Masochistic. We've got horses from New South Wales, New Zealand, Queensland, Western Australia, South Australia. So it's quite a national event, this, the $80,000 NEC Bendigo Cup. Most of the runners have been positioned into their starting stalls. A field of 14. Running Awesome Mover was a late scratching here, number 6. The withdrawals, 3, 6, 16 and 18. Now Masochistic about to walk up to its stall. Once it does, the field will be set to go for the 1991 Bendigo Cup. 2,200 metres. They have a run of 200 metres to the winning post and then travel 1 lap. They're all set for a start. Light goes on and they're racing. Caught them in a reasonable line. Mercator and Davalora Lad both a little bit slow to begin. One of the first to bounce out was Bonded from Regimental Arms and Tosoldi. Wider out was Masochistic, followed by Gallicus getting up along the inside. Explorer goes forward early, and then came Pabulum. Not a lot of speed on early. Home Show's wide from Davalora Lad, and then came Mercator. Wider out was Red Zam. Favoured Boys third last inside Moods, and last of all the Perth visitors Stick Around. Out of the straight, Tosoldi being taken on here by Masochistic, and with 1,700 metres to travel, Masochistic leads 3/4 of a length. Regimental Arms is second. Explorers caught out wide third, and Tosoldi on the fence fourth. 2 lengths to Gallicus, and then Bonded a length away Pabulum. 2 lengths further back 2 Home Show on the outside of Davalora Lad. A length and a half to Red Zam outside Mercer Tour, then Favourite Boy. Second last was Moods, and 2 lengths away last of all was Stick Around, about 12 lengths off the lead. Along the back, 1,300 metres to travel. Masochistic has settled well. Leads by a length to the favourite Regimental Arms, a half away to Soldy third. Then Explorer down on the inside, Gallicus, a length and a half to the top weight Bonded. Then Pabulum over on the inside, Home Show's 3 deep. A length to Davalora Lad, followed by Mercer Tour between Red Zam and Favourite Boy. Moods was second last, and Stick Around last of all, about 10 lengths off the lead. 1,000 metres left to travel in the Bendigo Cup of 1991. Masochistic led 3/4 of a length to Regimental Arms, given every chance by Michael Clark. A length away to Soldy, a half to Explorer. 2 lengths to Gallicus. Bonded was 6th on the outside of Pabulum. Then Home Show, Davalora Lad, Favourite Boy on the inside of Mercer Tour, and then Mood. Stick Around still second last, and Red Zam had dropped that to the tail of the field. 600 metres left to go. Masochistic leads by a neck to Regimental Arms. A length away Explorer going up wide from Tosoli, then Gallicus. Bonded next, followed by Pabulum over on the inside as they made the turn. Home Show wider out and Stick Around taken right to the outside. 300 metres to go, and Explorer hit the front of the Bendigo Cup from Masochistic. They were followed by Gallicus. Tosoli behind them. Regimental Arms was dropped out quickly, and here's Stick Around on the outside. Stick Around loomed up with Home Show to hit the front. 200 to go. Tosoli battling on, and then came Gallicus, but Stick Around hit the front of the Bendigo Cup. Pabulum late. Stick Around's in front though, and he's going to be too good. Stick Around draws clear to win by 2 lengths. Second Tosoli, third Home Show. Mercer Tour late for fourth, and then Explorer. Davalora Lad, Pabulum next in, then Gallicus and Bonded further back to Moods. Masochistic, Favourite Boy, a long break to Red Zam and Regimental Arms. Well, no excuses. Obviously something's gone wrong. It's finished a distant last. Winner of the 1991 NEC Bendigo Cup. Perfectly ridden by Paul Dyson, all the way from Western Australia, trained by Wally Mitchell. Number 8, Stick Around. Number 8, the winner. A strong staying performance. He waited to the last moment to have a crack at them, has come from last on the home turn, but has drawn away to win quite comfortably. Number 8, Stick Around, will be first, ridden by Paul Dyson. Now, the judges call for the photo for the minor placings. Tosoli and Home Show are the 2 most prominent in this photo for the minors. After Tosoli hit the front, good performance. Finished runner-up in the Kyneton Cup last week. A bold effort, but Stick Around was just too powerful for them, and it's running away. Easy victor. Number 8, Stick Around in the Bendigo Cup. First prize, $52,000. The horse trained by Wally Mitchell at Belmont. Of course, Wally was the trainer of that great racehorse, Placid Arc, of a few years ago. Tosoli, number 12, has run second, and number 15 is third, Home Show. So it's 8, 12 and 15. The placings are official, 8, 12, 15. Expect $2.55 and $1 for number 8, Stick Around. 12 Tosoli, $1.80, and 15 Home Show, $1.85. But a clear-cut winner of the Bendigo Cup, number 8, Stick Around, winning by about 2 lengths from Tosoli, and third placing going to Home Show. So, Alan, a very popular winner here, as Paul Dyson said before the race. The horse that won at Wait for Age, had to give him a big chance in the event.
My word, Dan, a terrific call there, and the Western Australian taking the spoils here at Bendigo this afternoon. Paul Dyson hopping on the plane from Perth. I guess while it's cheap airfares, it's good bickies coming in if you can ride winners like that. And Dan, that's certainly a very popular trifecta too, with the Tosoli running a good race there last week at Kyneton, of course, and the lightweight Home Show from Ballarat with young Paddy Payne. So 8, 2 and 15. And the favourite, Dan, Regimental Arms. Any hard luck story there?
I suppose we might find out a little bit more afterwards. The horse had a perfect run, Alan. There was no excuses as far as the way the horse was ridden, but I would suggest something did go wrong because he faded badly and finished a long way behind the second last horse.
Let's have a look at the TAB interim dividends there. Stick Around, the Western Australian at $2.55 and $1, Tosoli at $1.80, and Home Show at $1.85. TAB numbers 8, 12 and 15 in the NEC Bendigo Cup. Interesting to note there also that the win pool on the Bendigo Cup today was just over $400,000 and a place pool of $238,000. So certainly the Bendigo Jockey Club, when they set about planning this particular carnival, they looked for a TAB record of over $6.5 million and a crowd of more than 15,000. I think they're going to get both today, the way the people are betting up this afternoon, with $400,000 in the win pool and the NEC Bendigo Cup. Here's the applause in the background for Paul Dyson, bringing number 8, the winner of the Cup, and that is Stick Around. Drew barrier 13 in the Cup in the dark blue and white quarters, and Paul Dyson certainly making his day worthwhile by flying across.